Okay, so we begin the story.
Why was that funny to me?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, continue, please.
In the news over the next few months, the world reacts to the news. Wait. Damn it, too many newses! In the news, the world reacts to the news as news of the Colossus attack reaches the rest of the world. Archmissionary Cornelius Aboricum of the clergy offers exorcism aid for evil spirits unleashed from Cauldron Hill. The Drakran military has ordered the production of extremely big cannons to repel the Colossus if it should make it to their shores out of the Feywild. Barren peasants report local nature spirits wreaking havoc and mysterious massive footprints tracing a path from the Anthras Mountains towards Seobriga. The sovereign of Daenor continues to express hope for peace with Riser, but in light of widespread accusations that his nation is to blame, acknowledges that negotiations are indefinitely delayed. Here's Tom with the curses. Oh, thank you, Bill. Cauldron Hill has been indicted by the Rysuri military. The side of the mountain is in flux, sometimes showing a hole that leads to the Bleak Gate, sometimes solid rock. It has been said soldiers have been equipped with magical weapons from the nation's vaults to combat spectral monsters that emerge each night. Back to you, Bill.
Is this a thing? Are you just making it up, or
yes? Yes.
I was enjoying it.
I have
a question.
Yes, go ahead. You can't actually ask the newscasters though. They're just on pause.
I can't. Oh, fine, I'll ask you then. Newspaper.
Yeah. What's up?
So then, what was the point of us even bothering trying to maintain relations when there's already widespread rumors of them being assholes, which they are, and now
I think it's rumors instead of open warfare.
Yeah, that's a much better option. Like,
that's
rumors of weapons of mass destruction in Iraq never hurt anybody, but the actual open warfare did.
I think you'll find it hurt the Iraqis.
No, the warfare did.
Alright, I think we skipped a few steps, but okay.
Real life politics, man. It's just...
Okay.
So as Tom continues his news report on the stage of one of the Flint news pulpits, he continues, sparse reports come from Daenor of university students filing formal petitions against the government, and even talking of repeating the riots of a generation ago. These protests come in response to a crackdown on broadsheet journalism. The leadership in Shiraj has forbidden publication of conspiracy theories that link Daenor to the Colossus and Riser, and several writers have been thrown into oubliettes for undermining the sovereign's denials. He shudders. That's all. Oh, actually, there's one more. Colonists in Alfiva talk of airy whispers in the woods. Near the Sharavathi Falls, a site claimed to be sacred to the fallen Eladrin Empire, several caravans have disappeared, except for a single survivor each. All have reported their compatriots vanishing, hearing only whispers and seeing only footprints of a mighty jungle cat.
Oh no, there's another Titan.
Oh, is it that one guy?
Yes.
Killed him.
You've
that was like putting the people. Oh no, wait, we talked with him.
Yeah, the King of Rot.
Himself.
The King of Rot. He didn't kill himself, did he?
No, what's it?
I'm talking about. Yeah, that guy.
He killed himself.
Oh yeah.
Well, technically.
Killed himself with his own hand.
Ezra Bay helped him kill himself.
Yeah, there's some bullshit fucking Fey lawyer.
DM bullshit? I'm sorry.
No, it's definitely Fey lawyer bullshit. Technically, he didn't do it, so the other guy technically killed himself. No charges levied. Easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy.
So that's in the news. Outside of the news and the stuff you're privy to, well, actually, everyone's privy to time traveling, or time passing. It's more than 2 months has passed. Traveling forwards in time.
We can time travel.
That's very true. It's just find the world engine at the bottom of the well and travel back in time and New Game 2.0.
Hey.
New Game Plus.
More than 2 months have passed since the Colossus rampage through Flint. The RHC headquarters has had its security dramatically increased, and you and the other constables have been busy chasing leads and wrecking various obscurity plots all throughout Riser, all of which have been fairly minor, such as miners paid to smuggle adamant, druids using magic to keep local fake content, and out of the real world, glaziers hired to craft replicas of the Wayfarer's lantern, which is that little bleak gate lantern that you're familiar with. Collection of scholars recruited to collate every scrap of information on the Fey Titans, and so on. Most of these groups, when caught, were fairly forthcoming once word got out that the conspiracy gave its low-ranking members rings engraved with particular patterns as a means of identifying them. People who had no idea that Ob existed offered to help investigate, and the patriotic spirit is high after the catastrophe in Flint. Of course, a few groups were leaning in opposition to Riser, such as cells of erudite soldiers preparing to take over from more traditional commanders. But enough people were shocked and brought down after the news of the Colossus that they ratted out their allies rather than be part of some hostile group to the homeland. So we are on the morning of the 1st of summer, 501 AOV. Stover Delft has called you to the RHC headquarters. The place is thick with heightened security, and when you arrive at Delft's office, you see him chit-chatting with Lauren Seinberg, whose first words that you hear directed towards you sound somewhat like an insult. No one will tell you this, she says, but we're all kind of disappointed you let the Colossus escape. Are you ready to clean up your mess? It's been 2 months.
Can I stab him?
Can we just walk out?
Yeah, fuck.
You know, if you want to get technical, the king let the Colossus escape, so take it up with him.
Delph sort of comes between the two of you, and please be kindly to the furniture if you're going to hash this out in here. And he gestures you and come sit. Lauren, bite your tongue for a moment. And
Or forever.
Lauren just glares at you, Ryla. But she begins, as he moves this furniture out of the way, you think he can have a fight, and eventually, after a few moments, becomes clear that he's clearing space on the floor as Lauren begins tracing a teleportation ring with chalks and powdered silver. Delft begins to talk. Sorry to be in a bit of a hurry, constables. This is Lauren Seinberg, Director of Infiltration. Lauren, you know them. She nods. He puts a hand to the side of his mouth as if speaking in confidence and whispers, she doesn't care about you that much.
Is it because we do her job better than she does?
Delft takes a hand down from his mouth,
I
smiles.
don't even whisper that.
You see the slightest nod. Before he continues, I figure you have about 5 minutes before she's ready to teleport us to Slate. A carriage is waiting to take us to the main headquarters. We'll be meeting with the Lord Inspector and a few others to plan this mission. But I imagine before sunset, you'll be in Burr. He apologizes here for his... excuse me, lads. He hands over a small sheet of newspaper. This was published a few hours ago in Seobriga. We'd had the word out that we're looking for this gnome Tinker, and a Baron contact got this to one of our agents. A few spells later, and I have a copy here. I wouldn't be surprised if the Ob have a copy in their hands too. And in the news clipping that he gives you, which I'll have to link you. Un momentos.
A lot of kids in this meeting. Couldn't find a babysitter.
Are we sure that she's not going to teleport us to, like, the realm of fire? Or plane of
Well,
fire?
when we
whatever?
get out, we'll just murder her. It's
Some
fine.
creepy castle.
You
There's
are
a beholder
so untrusting.
Yeah.
That's fair enough, I suppose. Fuckaballs.
Fuck a what?
I've lost the fucking handout. It's alright. I had it, and now I don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, I'm looking in the wrong act. There we go. Player handouts. Oh, for fuck's sake, it's rotated. I'm sorry, lads. I thought I was prepared.
Sorry, buddy.
Maybe one day I can forgive you.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Nah, I wouldn't either. No, not the Berenstein Bear.
Bear?
I don't know if you can read that. It's not any better in the book as well, so it's pretty blurry. Sorry.
Wait, where did you post it?
I shared it. Should be on your screen.
Who's bringing bad news to bear?
As you read it, Delft continues. Constables, we've been spending the past 2 months cleaning our own house, and it's good to feel safe. We don't have any more traitors or secret plots in our midst. He wraps his cane
That we know
against... Yeah, he wraps his cane against the wood of the desk. Knock on wood. But this is our first real chance to figure out what in the hell they were planning to do with that 300-foot tall wind-up toy. This man, Tinker Oddcog, helped build the thing, and when everything went crazy, he didn't run to the op. He ran away. I hope that means he might be willing to talk, but we're going to need to find him before they do. Now, grab anything you... Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, but was this the crazy guy who told Trowbro not to kill himself?
I don't know if you met Tinker, do you?
I don't think
There
we
was
met
like a
him.
little,
No, that was the other guy.
like a little
who
gnome
was the
guy
goblin
or whatever.
Dude, because, like, oh yeah, did he get a new body, by the way? Or is he...
I think he's dead.
Yeah, the Grapper you're talking about, right? Alexander Grapper?
No,
Crap it.
I thought there was like a different guy that was like working on it when Trowbro went to explode himself. He's like, no, stop, don't do that.
Yeah, I think he got thrown down the well.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure he got splattered, but I could be wrong.
I thought he dipped, but whatever. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
No, that's right. Let me just double check.
Oh yeah, and Charbro's not Charbro anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he is.
He pretty much is.
In spirit. But the real Charbro is Gibbed.
Yep.
There was the metal guy. There was Grapper. No, you're right. No, this is that guy. And he did duck.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Good.
I remembered
remembering.
things.
Very good remembering.
My
Yeah.
brain isn't totally fucked. Hooray.
Yeah. So yes, Delft nods and says, we believe it is the very same man. Absolutely. Now, grab anything you need from the quartermaster and be back in 5. Anything you need later, we'll just ship with express delivery. You have $1 bajillion to spend at this point.
Anything we need?
No, so you will get...
One of those cannons they're building for the Colossus.
Yes.
Might come in handy.
So, at the start of this, you should have 64,000 worth of equipment. At this point, Delft gives you each a further stipend of 16,000 gold pieces.
Oh boy.
Whoa. Okay, so wait. I need to...
So you should have 80,000 gold pieces worth of stuff at the moment. If you... 80,000. If you use the character builder, you can track that pretty easily. You can say how much you've got and how much you've spent. Okay, that's cool. Just do some math.
80,000 now, including the stuff that you just gave us, or
Yeah, including the stuff. So 64,000, and he just gave you 16 more.
So
Might be
total
easier
now
just
is
to sort of
80,000.
just start again from scratch. I mean, we could probably trade out old shit, can't we?
Yeah, that's the idea of it. It's all requisitioned, so you just trade it in at full value and get something else.
So 80,000 is our new total.
So rather than wait for the shopping, though, we'll just consider that you do any shopping, and we'll retroactively apply the items you have. Yeah.
I do not want to shop right now.
Well, that would be like the next 2 hours. Let's be honest.
Huh. Interesting.
What's that?
Apparently, no, I was just doing the calculations here. Apparently, I've only used like 24,000. Yay! I have a lot of money to use.
Woohoo! So, once the shopping is concluded and you're all decked out in your new trinkets and tools and equipment, that of which we will describe later, Lauren waits for you in Delft's office, and as you're all ready, she completes the last few words of her ritual and teleports herself, you, and Delft to Slate, the capital of Ryza. I don't know rituals, so perhaps Aranus can tell us what the last few words of this ritual are. Aranus.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci! And you all momentarily feel like you're shunted sideways through space and time, and you appear like shunted the other way in the city of Slate. So for people used to living in the bustle of Flint, as you all are, the city of Slate appears stately, calm, and perhaps a bit doddering. The Great Delve River, with its steep banks turning it almost into a man-made channel, it generally separates the city into the noble West Bank and the commoners East Bank. You see 6 antique castles sit along the inside of a wide bend on the river's west bank, arranged in a pattern originally designed to defend against invasion, but now keep the paws out. These castles act as nexuses of communities of elite gated villas, and here live the nobles, the nubiles. Ooh. Here live the nobles descended from the many kings and queens Ryza has had throughout history. Today, the district resembles an overly manicured flower garden, more pretty than practical. Yeah. Where you teleport to... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Nothing. I was gonna make a dumb joke. Continue.
No, make the dumb joke.
No, it's gone. The moment's passed.
Okay. So the teleportation circle that you arrive at is in a small little gazebo in Banhammon Academy. How do you word?
Academy?
Yes. Slate's foremost martial school. It straddles the river north of the city centre, and it has military barracks and a small base of river warships used to protect the city. Perhaps Trabro knew of this, Zambro. You hear a little inkling of recognition, because Trabro was a martial badass, right?
That's right, he was. Weren't you a veteran of the Yearsall War? Oh, wait, no. But yeah.
No, he was a martial scientist or whatever.
That's right, yeah.
I see you lighting up, Jeff, but I don't hear you. Which is why everyone's talking over you, I think.
He rage quit, that's right.
Yes. I was just talking, Dan! Oh, he's gone. Yeah, so, Charbor, hey! Recognize it?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yes, we can.
So yeah, sorry, didn't hear anything from you. Perhaps you do recognize this place.
Yes.
Cool. Glad we got you back for that.
I said words, but I can't remember what they were.
Yeah. Roll me a history with a +5, please, Trevor.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, you're pretty familiar with this place. So you know a little bit more about the sort of the security and ins and outs of this this academy. Such as the city's teleportation circle lies on the east side of the river between the military base and the academy. Spells alert the base whenever people teleport in, and the base's ward mage immediately knows of any injuries or attacks made in the teleportation chamber. In the event of a suspected invasion, 4 quick axe swipes can release a 3-foot thick wooden disc, and when it falls, the disc covers the teleportation circle, preventing anyone from travelling through it. It's not pertinent to you because you're not invading, but it is possibly good to know. Non-hostile visitors are briefly searched, which is what happens to you all now, and generally have to show papers. However, with Delft and Lauren here, you don't need to provide any further papers. Though you can flash your RHC badges if you so wished. And nothing looking suspicious, you are cleared to leave the gazebo where carriages await to take you wherever you need to go. When you arrive, the guards, like I say, recognize Lauren Steinberg and Delft. Lauren appears to come through here with great regularity, but it's likely the guards also recognize you all from the news stories. You are somewhat infamous / famous.
It's those guys that burnt down half a city.
You actually hear something a bit more positive, and you hear, it's the lot that stopped the obscurati. And you hear one going, it's not the obscurati, it's the obscurati. And then they have a little fire. Said, no, Barry, you fucking idiot, it's obscurati. That's why they call them the ob. I said, I thought they called them the ob because they're obtuse.
Oh my god. I was
The
actually that 18.
Barry comes up to you and asks for your signature, and you're generally treated with a little bit of reverence from some of the people here. But if you gave him your signature, cool, you're nice people, but otherwise, fuck you.
I give him the
Absolutely.
signature.
Yeah. He's excited. He's got a little journal book, and you'll sign on it. Well, those of you who want to sign on it. And then you're through the checkpoint with minimal hassle. You get on board a carriage with Lauren and Delft, and you head across a bridge past 2 castles and stop at the gated compound of the National RHC Hedge Quarters. These are the hedge quarters of the RHC. Hedge. I can't not say hedge.
Is it just like a building made of hedges?
It's just a fucking hedge
It's in a
labyrinth.
greenhouse, it's fine.
Head. Fuck me. Words are hard today. As you reach the headquarters, there we go. You are.
The hedge quarters?
Fuck your mouth.
I think it's the headquarters now. I mean, come on.
You are summoned by a couple of orderlies who inform you, yes, Lord Inspector Nigel Price Hill invites you in the conference room.
Nigel is the one that backed us up against Lady
Yeah.
Inspectress,
Yes.
Yes.
right? Oh hell yes!
He's a good dude.
Now, do you all want to head straight to the... Ah, it's gorgeous! Ah, yes! I love it. Perfect. And that little hedgehog is the guy that tells you to wait, not to go to the conference room.
Magic hog.
That's so good. So yeah, you head straight into the conference room, unless you got something you particularly want to do slyly and underhanded, you sly underhanded
Can I
bastards.
get out my world map?
Absolutely. Definitely.
Do you think it? 'Cause I can't find it in the images.
Yeah, and you click shared. What is it? What is it called? Can't remember.
I know.
It's not there. I must have unshared it, sorry.
It's alright.
Yeah, Totes did.
Okay, there we go. Sweet.
I keep wanting to say Rifter, but I know that it's incredibly
The Grifter.
no Rifter, but I don't know why the fuck that's in my head, but that is extremely Riser. There we go. But that's not
Oh, right. No, Lanya. Langina.
Langina, got it.
Langina. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
I
Man, I bet fucking Dimitri is hyped being in the headquarters here.
think you're going to be like,
realised
he's
it's
hyped
so
to be in the Langina.
So I didn't realize that Flint. I thought Flint was the capital. Doesn't the king hang out there and shit?
It's not the capital, it's just one of the major cities.
So it's kind of like Auckland and Wellington sort of thing.
Yeah, so Flint was big, the king was there because of the launching of that boat.
Ah, right. So he was just So he doesn't live there. He was just there for all the fancy shit that was.
Yeah, hang on, bear it back, fucking kids.
Okay.
That's not allowed in our country.
Not allowed in most countries.
Hey, I don't want to speak for other countries.
I mean, you kind of should in this case, but that's alright. I understand what you're saying.
Hmm.
I guess I got time for a quick match in World of Warships.
Yes, go for it, buddy.
World of Warships.
Yeah, it's a game where you play ship girl. Wait, no, that's incorrect.
Just the
No.
ship.
And I played World of Tanks a lot.
That's far too fast paced for me. I don't have the reactions for it.
Jeez.
Oh my god.
I need to be able to like lead my shots by 5 to 10 seconds for
Man, fucking rip that gas station.
what?
It
Oh, okay. That's not where the pump is, buddy.
He just
well,
That's the new drive-through, man.
he just wanted
I'm
to
in-
park near the chill zone.
I'm impressed he got through the bars that stop Ram Raiders.
I was probably
It
going
is-
fast because they look like small.
It
little
looks
speed
like
ones.
yeah, it must be in speed. You can actually see that bollard's going being just knocked straight.
Yeah.
It's
That's
pretty
just
impressive.
like
I wonder
fucking-
what the front of the car looks like, because it looks like the car's perfectly intact from that angle, but
just believe it.
Yeah.
Just believe
The
it.
engine's now in the driver's seat.
Sorry, there was a tomato sauce catastrophe.
sounds fun.
Oh god, who put the V-dub in the Z?
That was completely in the alphabet. BWZ.
There's an X missing there.
and a Y.
That's the attitude.
No, the Y is in the Z. Oh shit. So, where was I? You just come into the conference room and you see Lord Inspector Nigel Pricehill, accompanied by the King's Principal Minister Harkover Lee. That super magic mage in Riser. There's a handful of assistants handling maps and various documents who will look up as you arrive. And you're greeted by Nigel. I can't remember what he sounds like, so let's just make it up. Well, hello! How are you?
Not what he sounded like. But okay.
Pretty close, though.
I can't
I mean,
remember.
why would we want him to sound any different than that?
That's a good point.
Quite right. Come on in. He introduces you to a few people around, but the only really main important people here are himself, Lee, and you all. He explains that the mission is to go to Bear's capital, Seobriga, find Tinker Oddcog, and get all the information you can about the Colossus and the Obscurati. However, it would be even better if you could recruit the gnome. Anyone who could design the Colossus would be an immense asset to the nation, and the king is willing to offer quite a lot to secure his talent. He goes on to talk, but Harkover Lee at this point interrupts. Don't remember what he sounds like either, so... no, he expects two main complications. Firstly, the Barons won't want to hand Tinker over, and Bruce Shantis has used his power as a ruler to extend protection against divination magic to the gnome. Lee suspects that any hostile action taken against Oddcog would alert the Brews and might damage relations between Riser and Bear. They both think it is smarter to directly petition the Brews and negotiate a trade rather than waste time trying to find Tinker themselves.
Was this leader the cool Minotaur dude, or is it someone else?
The Minotaur dude that came to Flint was just a emissary. He was
He's
coming
like
to...
a mediator, right?
Yeah. So Bruce is another person.
And he was cool.
He was cool. You could probably catch up with that dude if you wanted, actually.
Yeah.
It
just
might be.
go see what's
It
up.
might be a good way to get it in.
Go out drinking again.
Yeah. What was his name again?
Billy
Minotaur
Bob.
man.
Miniman.
Min.
You guys are good. Was it something with a G? Remember something with a G?
Gary.
Probably Gary.
Gary Carr.
It certainly sounds right.
So,
Geza. Geza!
jeez, you're so gassy today.
I know, I'm drinking ginger beer. Secondly, the second issue, second complication, the Obscurati have also been searching for Oddcog. Shortly after the newspaper clipping was delivered to the RHC, spies reported that a Denoran warship, the Lux Profactus, had docked in Sierra Briga the day before. The party might recall that this was the ship that transported Liagier when they handed control of Axis Island back over to Danor. The RHC has only the thinnest ideas of what the OBS resources in Burr might include, but it appears they have a head start on you. And as a final snag, the public in Sierra Briga have been staging weekly protests called Civilized Progressive Rallies, and there's one happening today.
So we're gonna go blow the ship up.
Nigel, whoa, lady! Calm down on the explosives. What? I know you like to blow things up, including our own people.
Excuse me,
I
that was
think
a
you'll
decision.
find that was fire, not explosive.
I'm sure something exploded in there. Heard it like pops. Pop, pop.
Wow.
That's
I like
right.
this guy's complete change of business.
Yeah.
Sounds like this guy would have gotten on quite well with Periwing.
Jesus.
They're part of the old crowd. They don't make us like they used to, eh? Oh dear.
Nope.
So you're informed that you are getting your favorite ship, the what was it?
Impossible.
The Unpossible, the RNS Unpossible, and it's being equipped with an experimental teleportation ring. Normally, such circles must be stationary, but recent research in the wake of the Gidim incursion that attacked the RHC has helped make this new portal possible. By using the linked portal ritual, you'll be able to teleport to your ship from anywhere, although you'll need to contact the crew first to find the ship's precise coordinates, or else the ritual will fail. The reverse portal ritual will let you have equipment or personnel delivered from their ship to you, and when performed, it will let people or objects pass through the ring on their ship and arrive wherever you are. Again, sending rituals are vital here for timing, making sure people don't turn up at the worst possible moment.
So it's a portal on the ship. It's not a portal that portals the ship.
Correct. Portal on the ship. You also provided sufficient ritual components to perform the linked portal ritual 5 times, reverse portal ritual 3 times, and sending ritual 30 times. Someone who's going to be your ritual master can keep track of that.
Thanks,
Sounds like an Uranus
Uranus, yep.
job.
Oh, God, you guys are fucking dickheads.
You are
I think
all...
I already
Right,
have the
what's your
sending
contract?
ritual, I think.
Yes.
Don't I?
I'm sorry, Uranus, but you are our keeper. You know, you
Yeah,
do clean
that's
up our
true.
paperwork. Do you think anyone else would be responsible enough to look after this?
No.
I mean, I already lost one of the sending components, so I just hold it for a second. I
So
think
if
I have like a bunch of rituals to actually choose that I just haven't, so that works out too. All right.
you get the ritual books, so not only do you have the materials for these, you now know them, Uranus. Yay.
Oh, okay.
And the extras, if you already know sending, someone else can learn sending from a ritual book. And yeah, the inscription of the teleportation ring should be complete in a few hours, and then they'll be ready to set sail with haste to Sierra Briga. Yeah.
All right. So sending.
Lee does point out that you won't be on the ship. You will be teleporting directly to Sierra Briga. The ship will just be behind with the supplies, the teleportation ring, and whatever else. So it's sort of
So what is
your 3-day back.
teleportation? Like teleportation and then reverse teleportation. How many of those do we have?
5 linked portal and 3 reverse portal. Now, you can do this as many times as you like, but they have paid for the ritual costs for those 8 rituals.
And then
Just
30 sending rituals, right?
yes. Which is a ritual components to the value of 3,700 gold pieces.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, before you teleport off, Price Hill says, unfortunately, there's no formal relationship between the RHC and any similar security apparatus in Bear. It's unclear even if Bear has a formal intelligence organization. In the past, interrogated Orc and Goblin spies have claimed they worked for El Extraño, I think, how you say that? With a little...
Extraño.
Yeah, it's got a little Macron, I guess,
Accent
over the
mark.
N. Yeah.
Oh.
But,
Macron.
I don't know, Jeff. What are the accents? A what?
Macron is a type of biscuit.
It's also a fucking thing that goes over words, you cock. Or goes over letters.
I'm not.
It's also the leader of France.
It's got leader of France over the A. Oh.
Macron is a dark critical mark, motherfucker. But it's also the wrong one because it's straight, and the one I'm thinking of is wibbly wobbly.
I'm told.
So yeah, they always claim they worked for Alex Rano, but were always recruited secondhand and never formally worked for the Baron government. To have a chance of reaching the Bruise, you must be escorted by someone with connections to the court. Toward that end, Harkover Lee has contacted Bracken of Heffanita, your old friend who had travelled to Flint, that's what it was, the Baron ambassador to Ryza, and he's going to be meeting you at the Sierra Briga teleportation circle this morning. I was just about to read out the spoiler part of this book. That would have made things short. Unbeknownst to you, Okie dokie. So, welcome to Sierra Briga. So you've got the upgraded ship now, which is cool. You got the RNS Impossible 2.0.
Hell yeah.
Is it even faster now?
No, I think it's still quick as fuck.
It's slower.
Yeah, no, you're still the fastest ship by a country fucking mile. Your speed 22, every other ship. The other fastest ships are the Corvettes, and they're like 14, 15.
Sweet.
Yeah.
For all that naval combat we do.
It runs like a rape tape, I'll tell you what.
So, once you're ready, they will teleport you off to Sebriga. Unless you wish to decline the mission.
Yep. Alright. Bye.
Alright.
See ya.
Lauren tells you to head back to the other teleportation circle, and she will teleport your cowardly ass back to Flint. Anyone else?
Why do we have to teleport there? Why can't we just take the boat?
Nigel says, "Well, I knew someone wasn't listening. Hey, chap!" And he slaps you on the back and he says, "We already know that perhaps the Obscurati have got a day's head start, and we want to give them 3 more, eh? Not likely. Not bloody likely.
Well, then they're more likely to tip their hand, correct?
No, they're more likely to achieve their goal before you even get there."
Ah, so we've got 3 days to achieve our goal. Well, fuck it, let's go.
Hang on, I need to beat a child.
Is it Jeff?
Feed Jeff.
Why would you beat me? I'm a lovely person.
I said feed.
I should eat.
Yes.
Yeah, it's something you should try and do every now and again.
Yeah, every couple of days. Eat.
I mean, I guess.
Only if you wanna.
Completely optional.
Blah blah blue, blah blue blue blue.
Sorry, my left hand's quite sore from all the beating of the children.
Use your right hand then.
Nah, it's just Richard wanted me to set up internet on his Nintendo. And I was like, oh, I can't get into the internet control things. The password's wrong. And he's like, oh, yeah, I set the parental control password. I'm like, welp, no internet for you.
Damn. World's best dad.
Well,
Amazing.
think about it. Parental control password. He's controlling the parents. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, you know.
Cheeky
Oh
fucker.
my god.
Well, he is his father's son, I guess. Pending DNA tests.
Oh, you don't need to do that. It's pretty obviously he's Dan's son.
Wait, what do you mean? Oh, motherfucker. You're a son of a bitch.
I was like a sick burn. Oh yeah, you can really tell. Oh jeez.
So yeah, Riley goes through the circle first and immediately dies.
Yeah, the teleportation back to Flint is actually just halfway. You land in the ocean and drown, die.
Okay, that's fair.
Yay.
Wait, there's an ocean between here and Flint? Man, that world map needs updating.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to if we're going to Cerebrenica or Cerebriga, the kind of is if you go.
I thought we were going Flint back to Flint.
Nah, we're teleporting directly. Do not pass go to sub-level blow.
Right there. You drown right there.
Okay, thank you.
That looks like it's right on the beach. You can probably swim to shore.
There, I fixed it. And also, it's magically fuck you.
Fair.
Magically fuck you.
Yeah, it's magical GM bullshit.
That's magically delicious.
Just like ass.
Ass to ass.
So, before you teleport away, make sure you know you have a ship backing you up. It's a cool ship. You can fire cannons on it. There's a full deck of mini cannons on each broadside.
So we can call in like fire support.
Yeah, does the cannons have reach to the place where we're being teleported?
I mean, when they get there in a couple of days, yep.
Like, reach anywhere in the city, essentially. With the artillery?
No, but you can upgrade the armaments on it if you wanted to.
Just in case we do need to, as Kevin pointed out, call in fire support.
Some like bitchin' magic railguns.
But we can't call them fast support because that'll take 3 days, and 3 days is our limit.
For the
Good
cost
guns.
for the cost of 20,000 gold pieces, you can have access to a ship-mounted mortar that will be able to attack from the at least near the harbour into anywhere in Seabriga. It's about 1.5 to 2 kilometer range.
Holy shit.
Well, there goes our fucking
It will be doing a plus 15 attack area burst 10 with a 28 damage on a hit. So it's not like a bunker buster, but you know, it'll make big explosions.
It could be like, like American style diplomacy, right? We'll just show up to like,
We hear you've got
with,
oil.
Start
a
an
bunch of gunship.
international incident.
Yep.
We'll just show them the cannons and be like, hey, we want to make a deal. Look at these nice cannons we brought. Isn't
Yep.
that cool that we have cannons?
Implication.
It's true.
To be fair, we do more damage than the cannon.
Yeah, but not area burst 10.
Yeah, you're like area burst 1.
That fire with the workers suggests more than.
Pop, pop, hey,
Wow.
Like area burst 1,000.
hey! Area burst industrial district. Jeez,
Does that
that's so bad.
investigation, do they have an industrial area?
They do now.
Seabriga in Burr?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think any of you
Yeah.
have really been to Seabriga. It's a pretty destitute nation. It's got industry for sure, but it's not in the same level of economic upturn as somewhere like Flint or
Sounds
even
just
Shale.
like the sort of American target we can go for. We should bring them freedom.
Oh no.
Do they have oil, Dan?
They do have oiled
Like-
Dans.
Oil
Oh, wow.
stands.
What about like witch oil? We're gonna bring them freedom.
Yeah, what do we know about Seabriga as a general?
Roll me history. Someone get over 15.
Oh, where's my fucking character sheet?
Well, Zambro should be able to. Zambro's fucking plus 16.
Actually,
Yeah,
No,
I've
that was plus 5
14.
on the last one.
There, I have a lot of historical
Yeah.
history.
Riley doesn't give a shit
yeah,
about history.
as a continent.
It's very clear that Ryler doesn't give a shit about most things.
Yeah.
That's correct.
If it's not pew guns, he does not care.
Or pew-pewing a woman.
correct.
So there's some commonly held knowledge about Seabriga. Usually when a nation falls, it is after much war and bloodshed, but Seabriga was under the rule of dragon tyrants, and at this point most of the power was possessed by the rulers themselves. This is a long time in the past. When Widariva, the female blue dragon who was the last ruler of Seabriga, died, the city was left mostly intact. Today, the city is much as it was 2 centuries later, full of squat, massive buildings with dramatic spires that dragons once perched on. Where before a single dragon might treat several such buildings as their lair, now most of the old buildings serve as homes for multiple families. The poor camps and hovels that surrounded the city were abandoned when the former subjects of the dragons realized they could move into their masters' abodes. Because the dragons preferred stone structures, even the worst of the riots and fires did relatively little damage, and not nearly enough guillotines were brought up into the upper spires. Only recently has there been a need for new construction, which the wealthier families have seen as a means to demonstrate their civility, hiring Denoran and Rysuri architects and gardeners to create beautiful homes. Of course, this has left the city centre mostly to the poor, and as they have grown frustrated with the slow improvements, they have reverted more to old tribalism. The area around the city is still safe and well patrolled. There are pockets of neighbourhoods where skull and hide totems mark territory that should not be violated unless you're willing to fight. The city's harbour on the western shore has a few dozen factories, the most of any city in Burr, but a pittance compared to Flint. The city is blessed by favourable winds, and since barons were already so good at building spires, their smokestacks keep the soot and other foulness high above the city. There is a little bit of industrial traffic to and from Seabriga, but it's not particularly big. Like, there's no massive dock system that you can burn down. There are huge farms. Yeah, there are huge farms and ranches to the east, filled with 5-foot-tall goats and bison the size of a small house. These feed the city and are often exported. Since Sierra Briga's lush peninsula has relatively few streams or freshwater wells, wine is the drink of choice.
It sounds lovely, actually.
Yeah. And dotted through the
There's a-
city and the surrounding landscape, monuments to the dragons remain, some defaced but many restored. The late Verde Bruise likened it to mounting the heads of bears and deer, a pretty decoration and nothing more.
Place has a much bigger history than I was expecting.
Yeah.
Well, with the dragons and all.
Or the dragon swagging.
So you ready to teleport to Sierra Briga?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except you, Rilo. You've said your bit. You ain't coming.
I'm gonna go on as a double agent.
Right.
I'm actually working for the Unseen Court the whole time.
A quadruple
Well,
agent.
let's murder him.
Well, we can see you, so you're doing a terrible job.
Ugh. How dare you bring that joke to me?
How dareth indeedeth. So Burr's teleportation circles, when you arrive at them, are not defended like those in Riser. Since they're originally built for dragons to greet and impress visitors, those who teleport into Sierra Briga arrive in the center square of the city, surrounded only by a little pavilion, and it's guarded by 2 soldiers, one of which is picking his teeth with a small splinter of wood, the other is playing with a small deck of cards. They look up at you, and one nods in your direction, and turns back to his cards. Lauren Seinberg, who's teleported with you, is familiar with these defenses. And she says to you all as you arrive, perhaps we should move along lest we draw any attention, make people think we're more important than we need to be.
But we are important.
She just raises her eyebrow. Oh, okay. Well, I've gotten you this far. I'm heading back now. Get off the circle.
Bushy.
And you step off, and she activates a ritual, and poop, back to Slate, leaving you stand in the middle of the square as hundreds of orcs, minotaurs, goblins, and goliaths all around. You at first think it's just some sort of city bustle, but that doesn't line up with what you know about the city. It's not typically busy and full on like this, and you realize a lot of the noise is actually shouting, and they appear to be protesting. I know what you're like with protests, so please don't burn them down.
We didn't burn down the protesters, okay?
Yeah, true.
Well, true.
Well,
Yeah.
we burnt down the people that the protesters were trying to free.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
So some people are looking at you with curiosity at this point, and a couple of goblins sort of leap over to you and, "Come, you had to join the protest."
What are you
Yes.
protesting?
What are we? What? Hey, And he looks at his friend, and his friend's like, "Wah!" And then it's a protest, and they run away and gesture to you. The goblins don't appear the best authorities on what the protest actually is. You can ask one of the.
Join the protest.
She did
this
say
was
we
a
didn't.
vote. This time I want to listen to what the crowd's saying. To try to fully understand what their approach is for.
So, roll me perceptions, please.
Why isn't there not a skill tab on that mini one? Oh my.
So, as you all look around, the first thing that all of you notice is the protesters are almost all wearing wigs. that you recognize as things that were in vogue in Riser and Daenor maybe 10, 15 years ago. Some are dressed in fancy, uncomfortable attire, like they're mocking those who would wear such clothing. You see Minotaur and Goliath students sweating into their frilly white collars, while nearby a small herd of orc women in hoop skirts pump axes in the air to the beat of a protest song. The large swathes of orc men who make up the bulk of the protest shout to other orcs in swings that dangle off roofs around the edges of the square. They're also crooning out songs as they paint vibrant murals along the walls of buildings that were meant for the proportions of dragons, not men. The unifying force of the protest is the panoply. While the middle of the square is chaotic, at its edges, self-styled intellectuals talk to people as they arrive. You have a chance to talk with them. These people seem to be trying to figure out what everyone's individual grievances are and give them colour-coded flags to wave. Poverty is black, violence is red, corruption is yellow, and so on and so forth. This is merely a unifying revolution. There is no particular one protest. The entire city is up in arms. The most common colour is white, meant to protest apathy of officials who should be promoting the revolution. Anyone that you come up to and you can have a chance to talk to or listen to is talking about other highbrow panoply events later in the day. This is just a nice street party.
So these like communist orcs and goblins?
Certainly seems that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sounds, I don't know, it sounds like, I guess, a bit like the Occupy thing, a bit.
Hong Kong or
These are my people.
On Wall Street.
I'd like to grab
The 1%. We're the 1%. A yellow flag.
Yes.
So you're protesting corruption, and as one of these, I guess, officiants.
Dimitri's gonna be like, "Are you sure you should choose corruption? You're moderately corrupt yourself." So.
If there was a just system to take care of corrupt individuals, I would have never gotten a job at anyway.
ever.
I'm proof positive that the system is broken and needs to be fixed.
I mean, fair. It's fair.
He makes a good
Can
point.
Can I grab a black and red flag?
A red flag
No.
is violence, and a black flag is poverty. And you want to protest both?
Yes.
Yeah, they'll give you a flag
He
for
hates
each.
the poor.
Yeah, beat the poor! Beat the poor!
Is there a flag for having to do paperwork for idiots?
I think that's corruption.
There's a grey flag for protesting bureaucracy.
All right, Uranus is gonna grab that sucker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll grab the violence one.
I mean,
Are there
Alright.
any people here that aren't like natives of Burr?
Are there natives of Bear?
No, people that are not natives, like dwarves or human.
What did you roll? Nah, none that step out to you. You maybe catch a few people that look like they're human in shape, but they then turn and you see that they are just small Goliaths or just generalized looking people that you mistake for humans. All shapes and sizes, but no other non-Baron people here that you see. But the people around you don't seem surprised that you're here, so that gives some indication that maybe you're not the first non-Barons to be present at the panoply.
Okay.
So, if you'll remember, there was someone who was supposed to be meeting you here.
Gary.
Yes. Gaza!
Ah.
Bracken. Did anyone roll? Ah, yes, Ryla.
what's up?
24 wasn't enough.
Yes, sir.
Oh, he's typing a secret thing.
A secret thing. Yeah, look at your fucking screen.
No, I
Read it
am.
out loud. And then accidentally read it out loud.
I'm going to try and like without the party noticing as well, split off from the party as stealthily as I can.
Okay, roll me a self check.
I mean, I don't care about. I don't. I freely not notice that he left because who cares about Ryla?
Wow, shots
That's
fired.
hurtful.
I mean, is he wrong though?
I mean, no, but still.
Double wow.
Supposed to say it.
Rough as guts. So as you slip away, you get maybe 10 feet away. You've still got this person in eyesight when you're grabbed at the arm. And you turn to look to see who this person grabbing at the arm is. And you see a orc policeman. He's dressed in full uniform, so he's very obvious. And he says, "Hey, you, come with me. Need to have a chat."
May I know what? Why are you grabbing me, and where
Am I being detained?
am I being detained?
Yes, you
As
came through the
commander of
teleport.
the land, I
No.
will have you know that I'm wearing Admiralty colors.
He pulls his face close to yours and says, "You came through the circle?
What circle?
That one." And he points back towards the teleportation pavilion.
I don't know. I mean, I took shipping.
I bloody saw you. You and your friends come with me.
No.
Yes.
Uh,
A real battle of wits is going on here.
You're not in trouble, but if you don't come along, you will be.
I'm sure we can work this out. Fine, I'll come with you.
And your friends. And he looks back and sees that they're a bit further away before they disappear on you.
Okay.
I mean,
Can I disappear on
Oh,
Ryla?
Dave. Who are they? Who's his friends?
I'm trying to give you some guys some fucking time. Hurry up, get out of here.
But we
Listen,
don't know this is
officer.
going on, so how
I
do
know.
we?
Yeah, you snuck away, you idiot.
I know. I'm gonna
Yeah.
fire a flare into the sky.
Fire and flare! That's the bat signal!
It's like why exactly are you detained, or specifically me at the moment?
Look, this is the rules when you're coming to see a Briga via the teleportation circles. You've got to come see Glossia. She's waiting in the courtroom.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to cause any trouble here.
And you see a little goblin come past. Why? We're all causing trouble.
I'm not with him.
The orc just grunts and shoves you along. He's not like barreling you down an alley or anything. You guys, he gets to the rest of you and says, "Come along, come see Glossia."
What did he do?
You all done doed it. You all gotta come through the right way. If
Of
you,
course.
oh, go ahead.
No, I'll come along. What's the worst that could happen?
Can I go back to the circle and then walk backwards out of the circle?
You still on the circle?
Oh.
Because you got off to let Thingy out. Did you step back on it and just chilling on the circle the whole time? I don't feel safe here. I want to go home.
Don't we have fucking paper? Like, we shouldn't have to deal with this shit, right?
What papers do you have?
I thought you said that we had like papers from Laura or whatever, whoever we were supposed to.
I mean, it sounds like this
That-
is just,
You had papers to get to
Sorry.
Slate. That was yeah, because Slate is all super protected. This place is just not.
Right, fuck a duck.
Yep.
Yeah, they said there's no like official police, so I kind of
Oh.
it might be like a kind of a like a mob police,
Oh.
like a vigilante thing
I
or
mean,
something. I don't-
It almost sounds like we're going through customs.
I have a little voice in my head saying that if worst comes to worst, we can start a fight.
Okay.
I mean, I
There's
do have
enough
a giant
people here
robot
that
suit.
it would cause a lot of distraction.
I mean, well, let's just go see what's up first before we do anything. So we have to pay off some corrupt officials, whatever.
Fair enough. So you head to this courtroom, air quotes, quote unquote. It's a little like hall off of a bar, and in it you see someone dressed up
We'll get a
in
drink on the way through.
similar attire to those protesting on the streets, but standing with two Goliath sort of bruisers you see standing either side, and this orc lady introduces herself. Yes, I'm Glosia Evora. I assume you've come through the teleportation circle to our and she looks around. Courtroom?
City?
She nods. Yes, that's what I meant. Yes. But don't talk unless talking to.
You were just talking
You
to
did
us.
ask us.
Shut up! She bangs like a bone on the table and doof doof, a makeshift gavel. And you be quiet now. Who said you? Who allowed? Who said you could come?
The boss.
The boss. Which boss? He looks confused.
The big one.
Do you mean liar? And the big bruiser on the side like nudges her. Oh, I mean, who?
Not-
What?
I
you're
don't
not
think you should be
supposed to
saying her
them.
name.
It's
Wait. Oh, am I not supposed? No names? Fuck.
You know this, remember?
I do. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Well,
Bangs a
you
gavel
do,
again. Shh. No, I'm so. What's happening?
Uranus just is disappointed in the universe as these morons are outwitting a local official.
You know.
He's
Are they a local
disappointed,
official?
not surprised.
The orc policeman that brought you in here, who's got his little name tab that says Stone. He says, "Ma'am, I believe we should lock this lot up with that other one, with the mini we got earlier."
He said the mini we got earlier?
Yeah.
Well, our job might be done for us then.
Yep. Where I can get us out. I'm good at picking locks, especially jail lock. Oh,
Hey, I have a teleportation ritual. Remember that?
Just go back to the circle at the time.
yeah, but we don't want to go back to the fucking ship, Uranus.
If we
if
do,
we
if
get
we
locked
bring
up with
the
the
guy
mini,
with
can't we
us-
just drive it out?
Wow.
Come on, y'all motherfuckers know it's not gonna be that easy.
You want a bet?
I do want to bet.
This is sounding like this could be like an idiocracy style prison.
Well, yes, okay, let's go to the jail. Hand us the keys, we'll lock us in.
And Stone like just pulls off the loop of keys and hey, wait a minute. I'll take you. Come on! And he shoves you in. He leaves this building and Glosia, you see her like, were they? I'm so and then the door shuts behind you.
You know, when she finds out, it'll be your head, not ours, right?
So I have to beat some children again.
God, so much fucking child beating today.
I wonder which one's getting the second time. Because unless he's got another kid, that's 3 beatings.
I thought he had like 3 kids or whatever.
The other one's
Two.
not at his house at the moment.
Yeah, I'm here.
Sheep herding, for goodness sake. So yeah, you head out of this, or you get led out of this building towards another building. This one definitely doesn't look like any sort of jail you've seen. It's a pretty ramshackle building on the top floor, and as you go in, it's got a big double wide staircase that goes down into a basement area. You pass a couple more Goliath guards, and you come to what looks like a hastily built cell. Inside of it, you see a familiar face, hunched over but filling most of the cell, leaving very little room for the rest of you to be shoved in with him. You see Bracken of Hefferneater.
Can we get him out so we've got some room?
Yes,
Stone says, "No, breathe in." And he whips out a little heavy iron rod, basically a billy club, and whacks Bracken in the leg with it. Says, "Oi, shuffle up!" And Bracken lets out a groan of pain. Oh, and shuffles along a bench, leaving just enough room for you all to pile in around him. The cell door swings shut behind you, and he fiddles with the key, and you see the latch fill a little gap between the cell and the cell door, but it doesn't quite meet, so you know that it's not locked. And Bracken looks at you. "I thought I was supposed to be meeting you at the teleportation circle." He smiles. "Good to see you, though."
How's it going?
Is there a guard right by us at all?
No, the guards are at the top of the stairs. So within earshot, but not within eyesight.
Can I ask some of you to do me a favor and beat me half to death?
Who do you... Right, you say that to the guards?
No, like to the party.
Oh, okay.
You
you
want
do
us
know
to-
the guards are within earshot.
I need to be bloodied.
I mean, this is
I'll start
like
beating the shit out of Dimitri.
Yeah, Rylan just leaps to it. Righto!
Yeah, Rylan's gonna just get out all of his pent up,
I'm doing this for you, Dimitri. You son of a bitch. I mean, good friend.
No one believes you.
because he loves me.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Once I'm bloodied, I'll do the icy end of the earth and we can all then just phase out.
What a fun use of that ability.
Fuck, okay.
So, wait, what do you do?
So,
I mean,
when
wasn't-
once I'm bloodied, I can do the icy end of the earth thing, which creates the zone of ice, and anything that's less than 1,000 years old, people can phase.
Wow.
What a jailbreak.
I could have sworn that Dan described the lock as not being like actually locked.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did say that.
No, we could just walk out through the wall.
Just walk out through the unlocked door. Not opening it, just through it.
Okay.
Ironically enough, I think I still have some of those that pass wall ritual that we used in like the first island. But you know,
Jesus.
I like how as it's only after Dimitri gets bloody that he's explaining his plan, and you're just like, we could just... And one of you pushes the door and it just swings open a little bit. And Aranis is like, "Also, I have these," and holds all the scrolls with password.
Oh.
But, Dimitri, it was a good plan. If this was a real jail, we'd
It was
appreciate
a really good plan to me.
Fucking good.
it's good to know that we have possibilities, backup plans.
Does this happen after we half measure him to death?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
he didn't tell us what was going on.
Yeah, I just told everyone to beat the shit out of me, and then you're all like, oh.
Well, okay.
I think this group is having a bad influence on you, Dimitri. They're bringing
It's
you
just
down to their
self-flagellation. Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's a tri-bro plan right there.
Oh, shit. Oh my god, that's so good. So, a bloody Dimitri Brecken's like, so, why did you... Blood?
It was, never mind.
Would you like to take a short rest, Dimitri?
I might take 5 minutes.
Just like lean against the cage and like not the door but like the wall, and you see it like crack up the top and it sort of collapses a little bit, like even just you leaning against it. Ah, fuck, so good. All right, yeah. So Bracken looks to you all. Now that you're done taking out your anger on your friend, and he looks to you, Dimitri, is like, and props to you for being the literal punching bag. What are we doing?
Well, that's why we came to find you, because apparently you had a plan.
I had no plan. I was told to try and get you audience of the bruise, but that's all I know.
Well, how are you going to do that?
Well, by walking into the bruiser's chamber and saying, "Can I see the bruise?"
Well, let's go do that then.
Do you have any idea what you're going to be saying to him yet? I understand you're meant to be finding this engineer, yes?
Yep. That would be what I'd be saying to him.
Right. Okay. Shall we then?
I mean, you
Yes.
sound like that isn't a good plan.
Doesn't say anything. He shrugs. I thought you might have tried to see the Tinker, perhaps. Maybe.
Is he around?
He looks to you and says, "Word on the streets is he's in Seabriga."
Well, that's who we're looking for.
He nods. Yes.
What?
So do you want?
very confused.
Do you want to see Bruce, or do you want to look for this oddcock?
Would Bruce help us find our god?
Not in a million years.
Then why did we come to see the bruise?
Okay, so taking a step back to explain to you, because you obviously missed something. You're trying to find Tinker, convince him to join Flint, or to join Riser, right?
Yeah.
Failing that, kill him.
Yeah.
Stop him falling into the enemy hands. Once you've convinced him, you will also need to convince the Burr leader to drop their protection of him for him to come. Because the Burr leader is stopping him from being teleported out and probably offering some other protections. At this point...
I missed that bit.
Okay, at this point, the Burr leader would probably see you as asking for him as more of a, I'm here to kill this person you're literally trying to protect still. But say if you got Tinker and Tinker said, yes, I want to go with them, then
Gotcha. Yep.
the Bruise might be like, well, okay, that's fine.
That makes a lot more sense.
It was a big info dump, so I do understand. Even if you don't. So, you're fine to see the Bruise if you like, but Bracken is just wondering, is that the order you want to do it in?
So,
Sounds like
what
no.
was this, mastermind that captured us? What was she? She said something about a mini, which I'm guessing that was referring maybe to the
Minotaur?
Yeah,
Oh,
he nods. It is somewhat of a derogatory term for myself.
Well, you just called our friend the N-word. Good job.
Little bit.
Right. Okay.
Especially
I was
because
thinking it
there's
might mean
nothing
like
small
small
about you.
person, like gnome, but
I know.
close.
You're all like, yeah, we found Tinker. I was like, nope.
And what's up with that orc lady that threw us in here anyway? Bracken?
Glaucia. She's head of a group of thugs in the city. Thugs for hire, I guess. It sounds like someone hired her to, well, to have us waylaid. And he looks at the cell that you held in and says, I'm guessing they didn't pay an awful lot. But, well, we are delayed.
Well, we're not delayed too badly, so.
He shrugs. So, do you have any ideas where to look for Tinker?
Would he be in like some sort of a safe house or something? Like, I don't know. Like, would it be like a witness protection sort of thing, or is it just, a little less formal?
He shakes his head. There's no capacity for anything like what you'd call witness protection, but if he kept his head down and the bruise kept him magically protected, well, he's not going to be found by any scrying, I can tell you that.
And he's a gnome, so keeping his head down is fairly easy.
He nods. Easily mistaken for a goblin if he wears the right clothes.
Could we just try and offer some money to some goblins and say, have you seen any weird looking gnomes around? Maybe maybe we might turn up a lit.
These goblins, not to, be, I don't think we're gonna get great information from the goblin.
Oh, I think it'd be sort of the thing you'd give them like a bit of money to whet their interest and say, hey, if you find this guy for us, we get you lots of.
And if we get like 40 goblins, it'd be like having 40 bloodhounds.
I get the feeling that if they knew there was a lot of money on the line, I get the feeling that they would probably turn the city upside down for.
A whole gold coin.
I mean, okay, yeah, that's that. I see where you guys are coming from here. The only issue I can see is that's going to be like a blaring red alarm that we're definitely 100% here and looking for this guy. Because why else would a shitload of goblins be looking for this particular note?
And be suddenly loaded with flint gold.
Yeah. Money and shit. A little suspicious.
Are you suggesting that they may not be particularly subtle?
I would never say that, but yes.
Yeah, I don't know, I don't know, do we think it's worth trying to keep things fairly secret? Like, the Obscurati's probably gonna know we're gonna be after them anyway. Like,
well,
we're traveling with a giant fucking mecha for, I think we're gonna be pretty conspicuous.
Well, it's in my pocket right now. It shrinks down and stuff. But I think probably part of them paying us to be waylaid is letting them know that we're here. So
yeah, this group is employed by Lyre, and so she's bound to know we're here. If she doesn't already know now, she will know.
Let's be honest, subtlety's not exactly our strong point anyway.
Well.
So what you're saying is we start burning the city from one corner and work our way across?
No, it's made out of stone, so I don't think we can use fire. That's why I'm suggesting we use goblins. Gosh, these guys have had a bad influence on Dimitri.
Yeah.
Poor Dimitri. Just slowly losing his mind. There is also a clipping that you are all privy to that has some information on why people would think Tinker is even in Zeebrigge to start with, which you guys can read for some ideas on where to go, perhaps.
Was that clipping you shared with us?
It was.
Probably read that, huh?
Nah, it's alright.
No, it's too unreadable.
Where will I find that, by the way?
Unshared
handout clipping.
Yeah. Shared images.
I was looking at notes.
This plan is to hand over leadership of our military to research to a gnome named Tinker Oddcock. Dangerous connection.
Glaucia Evora. Oh. There.
So he's visited military installations and the palace.
Also, Glaucia Evora was that was the one that managed to just imprison us. So it might be worth trying to press her for.
Okay. So are we doing this loud?
Oh, well, we could try and be subtle and go and
As the situation
we kind of
degrades,
already
we can get louder.
we kind of already hinted that we are like obscurati because she was really really easy to. So I'm pretty sure we could we could play it by.
We'll try and be subtle.
I have doubts.
I don't believe you.
Wow.
All right.
Let's go to this news agency. Maybe they have a lead.
You want to go to the freelancer news agency?
Yes, the freelancer lady.
Okay. How are you going to find Melissa Amati?
The phone book.
You don't know what that is.
Has Bracken heard of Melissa Amati?
He nods. I'm aware of the journalist, yes.
Are you aware of where she might be found?
At this time of day, probably at home. But no, before you ask, I don't know where that is.
Right, okay, thanks.
So is there there must be like a printing, like a newspaper office building thing somewhere.
Possibly.
Could we go there and ask about her?
Yep, where is that?
What's the name of the newspaper that our clipping's from?
From the Cantabria Railroad.
Like, surely we can ask for directions, right? I mean,
yeah,
shouldn't be that hard to find a newspaper.
You can ask for directions and the cell, and Bracken says, I don't know where that is.
One moment, I'll be right back. I'll open the door and go ask one of the guys.
No, that's why I'm like, Bracken doesn't know.
I'll go ask one of the Goliaths. Hey, where can I get by the Cantabria Railroad?
So you...
No, we haven't actually left...
no one said so. So you go up the stairs, and as you leave the cell, the Goliath sort of turn to watch, and you walk up to them, and the first one stoops down to speak with you. And before you talk, he goes, "My name is Anthrazio." And he sticks out a giant hand, which is probably the size of your entire torso.
Great to meet you, Anthrazio, and I'll grab him by the finger.
And yeah, like finger shakes you. And he says, "What can I do you for?"
Where will I find the Cantabria Railroad offices?
Oh, Oh, you wanted a tour?
Yes. Do they do tours?
They don't, but
Ah.
I do. And he turns to the other Goliath and says, I'm just going to show them around. We'll be back before evening. And he says, does the rest of your team want to come?
Yes.
Ooh, could they?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Of course, of course. The more the merrier. The other Goliath is just sort of nodding like, yep, this is all perfectly normal. And
Suspicious right now.
as you leave the cell, following Enthrasio, he begins to talk. This building was built in blah 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 year, and talking around, he goes, but you wanted to find the Canterbury Railroad. Right.
No, keep going on about the history of the city, please. It's intriguing.
Finally, someone will taste. And he continues to talk, and you make your way through the city for probably half an hour, 45 minutes, before just naturally he arrives outside of a large, I guess mansion would be the best way to describe it, that has hanging outside of each of the windows various flags. You recognize them as the same sort of flags and colours that the Panoply protests were exhibiting earlier. And he points in and says, this is one of the independent presses. You can find the Canterbury Railroad comes from here. They have a large printing press in the basement, and not just for the paper, they use it for printing a lot of the pamphlets and the brochures for the protests, that sort of thing. Big
I wave my flags.
Big in the freedom community. He nods. I see you've already come across the Panoply in your short time here. Fantastic. And what you were black and red, right?
Yes.
Pleased to see you care about the plight of the smaller, poorer folk. Good man. And he claps you on the back, and you swear you feel your spine sever.
Can we? Oh, let's go have a look inside, shall we?
I'll kind of. Well, maybe we should thank him and say, well, we don't want to keep you from guarding your prisoners, so. Well,
I'll give him a go
thank
coin.
you for the tour, sir.
Give him a go coin or two.
Says, you want to do a bit of self-directed tour? Be back by, and he looks at a little watch on his wrist that's got a little sundial sticking up, and he says, a quarter to sundown.
You got it.
Fantastic.
When this business is all said and done, where will I find you in the city? I'd love to talk to you more about the history.
Oh, well, I mean, you'll find me at the cell. Other than that, you'll find me at, 1 second, let me just have a look.
Make a damn work for it.
Oh, there's no fucking city map. God, cunting, damn it.
Curse words.
I live in a house just on Monument Road. Or just off Monument Road, sorry, not on the road.
I shall make a point to come see you.
Of course. Look forward to seeing you then. Remember my name, Anthrasio!
Mentorzia?
Anthrasio.
Okay.
That's right. Sounds like he might do it.
Goliaths are Italian.
Just be thankful I can't do an Italian accent.
What are you talking about? Your hands are waving around the entire time.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Goodness gracious.
It's me, Anthrasio! The worst person alive. Alright, so, Anthrasio makes his way out of this general area of town, leaving you standing outside the Canterbury Railroad.
I'd also like to make note that I still look like an orc.
Yes.
I mean, you did
just making
before.
sure.
Boom, boom, boom.
Wow.
Sorry,
Man,
that was too easy.
brutal today. Whew.
I guess
Oh, that's
we
rough.
go inside and ask about Melissa.
Alright, so you go inside and you see a couple of people in what sort of makes as the foyer for this building. They're locked in a passionate embrace, humping each other against the wall. They pay little notice as you come in. Because they are too. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You should be.
As you walk into the hall, they're still going out. You see a couple of people running from one room on the left to the room on the right. One of them's holding a large bong. The other one's chasing them like, no, it's my turn. Give it back.
Wow. What the fuck?
Uh-huh.
A story from his childhood.
What is going on here?
Who knows? You make your way up to the first set of doors, and that's the one that they've just run out of one way and out of the other. To the left where they came from, you see sort of like a communal area. There's a table with sort of stacks of dirty dishes and a few big pots of food that a couple of people are sitting and picking at. One person's just sort of morosely picking at a bit of, you assume, chicken. That's probably 5 or 6 times the size of a normal chicken that you've seen. Another one's picking at a large potato that's the size of a head. It's like a jacket potato. It's filled with cream cheese and deliciousness. To the right, where the two that were with the bong ran off, you see another room. This one's more filled with lounge suites, I should say. And you see the two of them now just sharing the drug device, and a couple of other people that are partaking of various narcotic substances. You can
Carry them a lecture and tell them that how smoking that weed will make them think they can fly and jump out a building, and that it's very, very.
They behold you with the typical disdain that any sort of person in this situation met with someone lecturing them would. And one of them says, "What are you, the fuzz?"
I am not fuzzy. Well, my beard is a little fuzzy, but the rest of me is no fuzz.
Oh, Dimitri shaves, huh?
Like a slippery seal.
The high people and go, you should stroke his beard.
No, you should not stroke my beard under any circumstance.
One of them reaches out and
No, what are
it
you
looks
doing?
like a fuzzied lion's mane. You can move out of their reach, and they don't stand up. They just stay sitting and still reaching out towards you, just at full reach. I think they probably feel like they're moving closer to you, but they are just sitting on the couch groaning, reaching out towards your chin. It's a fuzzy mane.
It's that scene from Get Him to the Greek.
Struck the furry wall. So, assuming these two rooms aren't the rooms you're looking for, you continue up and you find a staircase that goes to the upper floors. Now, this one is a bit more what you were expecting a news or a journalism building to be. There's rooms on the other side bustling with people, some of which are talking about, did you hear the latest on that story? No, I haven't heard. Please update me at the water cooler. They're moving about, and you see a lady in one of the rooms writing furiously with a stack of paper that, as she finishes one page, she slaps it on top of the stack and continues to write, breaking only for a quick sip of a glass of wine and getting back to writing. Doesn't seem to pay any attention to you coming into this room on the second floor. Which is, for you Americans, the first floor.
I see.
Wait, what?
Because our ground floor is what you call the first floor.
Wait, really? I thought it was the other way around.
Wait, no.
Second
We
floor.
don't call our ground floor the first floor, man?
Yeah, the other way around, yeah.
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 We call the ground floor the ground floor.
Yeah,
Like,
but we call our the floor above the ground floor the second floor.
No, we call the ground above the ground floor the first floor.
Depends on who made
No.
the elevator.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, this is a dumb argument. That's It's up a single flight of
Depends
stairs.
on the elevator.
Yeah, it's true.
Some have the first floor as the second floor, and some have the first floor as the first floor. It's
I quite enjoy how you were trying to make fun of Americans, and then
And then we were the fools all along.
Well, I'm just confused now.
Up a single flight of stairs, you find this room.
okay, there we go.
Ah, great, we're on the third floor.
Jesus Christ.
Because the basement is the first floor where the printing press is.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes, they do.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I go to the water cooler, grab a drink.
I hear the water running now.
Yeah, someone
Yeah,
noticing.
I'm washing a lemon.
You're washing a lemon?
You're
Yeah, because I'm gonna zest
I haven't heard it referred to as that before.
Oh,
Yes.
it's an Americanism, so you know.
I just need a moment to wash my lemon.
That's
It's because when
disturbing.
ladies see it, they make a face like they ate something.
Oh, fucking
Like
power
Elika sour lolly.
That's so bad.
So what the fuck are we doing? I can't...
Well, you're here at the journalist lady's place, who appears to be
Hello?
Okay.
Are you
journaling.
Melissa?
She looks up. Yes. What? Have you got a story?
Maybe.
Well, you have my attention. She pops down her quill. What is it?
We saw your article on Bruce bringing bad news to.
Oh, about this Tinker Oddcog. Yes. What about him? Have you found him?
Yes. Well, no.
You found him. Oh.
We were hoping you would help us find him.
Did you read the article?
Yes. Hopefully your messenger is no longer 1,465th.
No, I think he's probably around the high 13s now.
Oh.
Well, it's been a few days. It's quite a good time, I'll be honest. We should see him maybe 2 to 3 months.
Can you tell us about Enforcer of Freedom Glaucoma Avor?
Glaucoma.
Glaucoma.
This is,
Is it likely that she would be why am I speaking in that accent? That's not the right accent. Is it likely that he will be in the company of her men still?
I'm unsure. We did try to talk to Glaucia, but we weren't. Well, they didn't have much to offer us. Let me put it that way. I do try my best to get even the most dangerous stories, but sometimes a life in jail is not worth a simple comment for an article, if you understand.
We can help you out with that. We just walked out of a jail just now.
If you can't get out of their jails, you deserve to be in them.
She looks at you quizzically. What do you mean? Our jails are the finest in Burr.
Oh dear.
What they mean is, anyway. Well, so have you come up with any other leads while you were covering this story?
She shakes her head. Well, there's rumors. Every time a story comes out, we're inundated with people claiming to have seen this and that and these and them and here and there and everywhere. Eventually you give up following these leads. They tend to just be attempts at advertising in disguise, a news article heading to the latest bakery to find Tinker Oddcog and actually just finding the most delicious Marmite scrolls you've ever seen.
What's Marmite?
Delicious.
It sounds terrible.
You're terrible.
Have you had Vegemite talk?
Nope.
She goes, you don't know what Marmite is. You're not from Burr.
Send Thox some and then watch, and then get him to record his face while eating it.
You eat it by the spoonful like Nutella. It's pretty good.
Oh, God.
I'm.
Nick,
if I trust you.
do a munchies swap, and I just send you an entire box of Marmite, nothing else. Oh no, and a Vegemite, and you can compare the two and be wrong.
Yeah.
You're not a Marmite person, are you, Dan?
Dan's
I
really a
fucking love
person.
Marmite, dude. Oh, it's fucking amazing.
I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
Are you a Vegemite person?
I live off Vegemite. Marmite's the worst.
Get fucked.
No, that was great playing this game with you.
Yeah. Yeah, the story ends, and it's Dimitri that loses.
I wasted all these years of my life on
being your friend. Yeah, you know how you were going to come and stay with us again? That's not on the table anymore. Because you know what is on the table? Marmite. Fucking Marmite. That's what's on the table. Holy shit. Where were we? So...
Bakery.
Yes. Melissa says, if you don't know Marmite, you're obviously not from around Bear. Wait. She looks past you, Ryler, and to the others. Tall, skinny Eladrin, dumpy dwarf with the grumps, idiot human. Looks to Zambro. I don't recognize you, but some of you, you're...
Skinny half-elf.
Says the ghost woman lady thing.
This is the Warforged.
Yeah. Skinny. Well, I mean, you described one of the other members. You're members of the RHC, the ones who... Yes, the ones who brought that giant beast. That... You do have a story. And she stands up and says, an interview? Could we do an interview? Saviors of Flint.
If you'll help us find them, we interview.
I tell you, I've tried to find them, but look, wait, hang on. And she starts flicking through her stack of papers, gets down near the bottom and pulls out an article, and this article is a final printing proof of the brews bringing bad news to Bear. She says, this. Look, we're due to publish an addendum to this. It's talking about Tinker and the cronyism of Bruce Shantis. And she passes over the article and she says, perhaps if you interview me, I might release the second half to you before everyone else. Might give you a heads up.
How about a first-hand account of how the golem got out?
Golem? You say it's a golem? Ah,
Yeah,
we thought it was a giant. And she starts scribbling furiously on a bit of paper. Golem, magically enchanted super weapon released from Flint towards Daenor. Fantastic. This'll fill the papers.
We should change that. We shouldn't let that happen.
Yeah, no.
Not with those words that she's just said.
I only write the truth as I hear it. Go on, please.
That's an interesting turn of phrase you just said there.
Well, actually, what if we told you the golem was built by Denorans?
Ah, false flag operation. Daenor incites war against Ryza. Story at 11.
Should we just leak everything we know about the Obscurati?
Oh my god,
There's nothing
yes!
that a secret organization hates more than having literally all their dirty laundry just fucking out in the...
As you're saying this, she's like, secret organization, Obscurati, dirty laundry. Carry on, yes, this is great.
God, this is the worst fucking idea.
I think we should go for it, eh?
You know what?
What's their...
You know what that also does? It drives up recruitment. See every single terrorist organization ever existing in fucking...
I'm pretty sure that's got more to do with all the bombs you keep dropping over there, but...
I mean, Partially, but
Yeah,
also...
New Zealand's not involved either. You know, I just...
Yeah, New Zealand would never do something like that.
Drop bombs? No, none of our aircraft can.
We have
All
aircraft?
3 of them.
Yeah, I was going to say, we have aircraft? They're just the Hercules, right?
They've arranged to Fiji.
Excellent. Poor Fiji. Drop 1 bomb.
No, it doesn't have bomb bay doors. Would need to like wheel them out,
Push them off.
and someone hit the front of it with a hammer.
Just sacrifice 1 person per bomb. Oh dear.
I'd like to pull them all to the side for a minute here, except for the which I'm going to point a pistol at if he tries to come forward.
She stays back and take a moment, get your story straight.
Hey guys, how about we don't leak incredibly fucking classified information to a stupid fucking newspaper?
What? How about we
What
leak
is-
false information to
How-
the paper?
Wait a second.
Yes.
How has Ryla become the voice of reason? Something is wrong.
No, you see, I don't actually care that much. I just don't want our cover to be blown immediately.
What cover?
mean,
We have
the
no cover.
Yes, we have a fucking cover. Our cover is that we're not over on the front page of a fucking newspaper, Dimitri. That's our cover.
But can you imagine the looks on their faces when the everything is spilled? That would be glorious.
Will we have our photo on the front of the paper? Miss Amari?
You look over to her and you see that she's writing down, and you can even see written down undercover RHC in Burr, question mark.
Wait,
Excuse
me,
she-
I was
she-
fucking quiet, thank you,
She
man.
rolled a nat 20 on her perception
Oh
check.
my fucking god.
Right, I think the thing that gives the Obscurity the most power is that they can operate in the shadows with impunity. If everything is public, they lose that. It puts them on the back foot. They have to act in the open.
Do you remember what we had to fucking go through in order to keep certain information from getting out and causing a major fucking incident?
No.
Jesus Christ. I should have fucking beat you to death, Dimitri. Anyway, there's no story here, and if you say anything, I'm gonna like get in close, really, really close, and whisper, "I promise you, you will not live very long. I'm very, very good at killing people."
I'm just gonna walk down to the
That
basement.
is not a very constable-y thingy to do.
Roll me
Yeah.
intimidate.
Yeah, Dimitri, neither is giving out our giving out secrets, huh?
Secrets about the enemy.
I think we just.
She says, secrets? What secrets? And she lifts up the paper and like it just bursts into flame in her hands. She's got a little bit of magic behind her. Just incinerates. She goes, hey, no secrets? See no secrets? Tell no secrets?
Wonderful. Now, that is to say that there are certain things we'd be willing to discuss. However, those things will need to be discussed beforehand amongst ourselves without any prying ears, and then we'll come to an agreement. How's that sound?
I wasn't prying. I was merely just
Not you, of course not.
observing.
He's not normally such a party pooper.
Says, I eagerly await our interview together. Look.
Did you guys? Is there like a fly style like teleportation accident? Your guys' fucking brain switched.
Yeah.
No?
I don't know. Maybe it's just after the break, but yeah,
Dimitri's gone crazy and Rylar's found God.
Ryla's
You guys-
newfound work.
Can you guys join me outside for a brief moment, please?
Just before you go,
Shut up.
Melissa.
Stop talking.
No,
Yeah.
look, you're a good orator, Ryla. Orator, speaker. You're good at it. I have an in with the CRP, the Civilized Progressive Rally, those pushing the panoply. If you're amenable, I can get them to promote an event with you all as key speakers. I think there could be a big marketing push. We could have grandiose portraits of you painted on walls around the city. It would garner thousands, and perhaps then, well, of course, with just what you want to discuss, but then they would have to listen.
Excellent. That is a fantastic idea.
I've always wanted a portrait painted of me.
You are very
okay.
good at title.
Hold on. I think no, things are just exactly normal. We're just discussing how we didn't want like our faces on the newspaper and.
I just didn't want certain classified things being fucking really. But if she can get us an in like this, I mean, that's kind of a different story.
I don't think the golem being is exactly classified.
No, but everything includes. Okay, this is out of character, Spite. Thank you very much.
Yep, no, that's fine. And she's not listening anyway. You've come to the side.
Okay. Classified. Everything includes also the fact that Leah Gier is behind it, which we were trying to.
That would be the story of the century.
Yeah, it would also cause a fucking war, which we're trying to prevent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe not do that part.
Yeah,
we could throw Luke under the bus, though.
I think we can mention like the obscurity and stuff. Yeah, we probably need to leave a few of the juicier details out.
Yeah, we definitely need to.
Who in the obscurity have we killed that we could just like let slip then?
Well, there's a whole bunch. There's a massive fucking body count. I mean, there was like the mobster dude that got brain sucked by the fucking thing. There was.
Tell him about the.
There's also the tobacco dude. He's still at large. He's like he's like the big wigged too. We might, I don't know. Name dropping him could be biting off more than we could chew, but it could also be kind of interesting.
Yeah, Caius Bergeron, Finona, I can't remember her last name.
Saxby? Fuck Saxby.
Yep.
Oh yeah, fucking Saxby. Yeah, we should definitely rat her out.
Yeah, let's fucking just throw Saxby under the bus.
I do agree that it would be a good idea. However, we don't want to make it seem like the RHC has leaks.
Yeah,
I mean, everyone knows it.
True.
We don't want it to make it look weaker than it already is.
Also, you may want to consider that you're here for a mission, and if you get back to Riser and have been leading a barren revolution by saying all of this stuff, well, maybe don't go back to Flint.
We are now just permanently based on the RMS Impossible. We will not be returning to port.
By the way, cut off all communication with the mainland. Yes.
I will just say lies.
I mean, I don't know. I've always wanted to be a keynote speaker. Have my own
just
TEDx.
say, well, yeah.
Dude, you're disguised as an orc.
That's great. So I don't have to name any names.
I was asking, it's a cult that likes golden circles. Big gold.
A cult that likes golden circle.
Remember the first two things ages ago?
Oh right, the
golden
big
plates.
plates.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones that were keeping the planes from like leaking out and murdering everyone.
Yeah.
Murder.
I got a feeling we have to at least give her something, or else she's just going to be like, yeah, burn the piece of paper, but I remember everything. I'm just going to rewrite it down.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a more appropriate way for me to indicate she got the message than burning the paper.
Yeah, no, I think she understands that maybe that would not be good for her continued existence. Not that I would do anything, it's the implication.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like we're on board with trading like some info about, the fact that there is this conspiracy and shit that's international. Maybe we just kind of be kind of vague on some of the details, or otherwise, I say mention people that are already long dead.
Some minor classified information, enough that it's probably gonna cause some issues, but not enough so that it explodes.
We'll get another slap on the wrist.
That's it.
All right. And with that, do you leave Melissa's journal place? You haven't really got any much information. What do you want to do from here?
Should we go back to Glaucia? She was the one that captured us.
I mean, we have to be back there before sundown.
It's true. We wouldn't want to be bad prisoners.
And we kind of, hinted that we might actually be Obscurati, and it seemed like she would be pretty easy to fool. So should we just keep that up and see if we can pump her for info? And if that fails, then try and, beat the fuck out of her like we know.
Did we hint that?
Yeah, well, I kind of, when she name dropped liar, and then we were like, you're not supposed to name names.
Oh, that. Yes, okay.
All right. I'm actually going to end it here as you are getting ready to leave Melissa's, because stuff's going to happen and it's going to take longer than 15 minutes. But I will leave it on a cliffhanger. Because as you make your way out of Melissa's house, Melissa rushes down and passes Zambro a small piece of paper into your hand and says, "Read it later," before she rushes back up the stairs. Do you read it now, Zambro? Do you read it later?
Yep.
You read it now? Jim, you immediately open it, and it's basically a request for keeping in contact. 1 second. This is not the right lid, Belle. You need to get the right lid. Hang on, fucking child.
Still not okay.
So that went well.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have to sabotage the printing press, so that was good.
And I only had to threaten to murder one person, which is great.
Indeed. Should be many more to do soon.
I really, really quite enjoy that you guys were just ready and fucking willing to start. It's great. Like, yeah, okay. Fucking why not?
Yeah, I gotta say, Brylar becoming the voice of reason is an interesting development.
Don't expect it too much. I just need to be comfortable in my home city.
He just doesn't want to go to war.
That's right.
This has been a fun session.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Just had to sort out a water bottle. The letter basically says, I followed you for a while, you and your crew. I see that we have a connection, and if you can keep up with me, then I'll keep you up in the news.
She's gonna keep you up, huh?
All night long.
All right.
And it's also it has a small stone, the center of which is hollowed out, and you see a sort of a sparkly crystal just sitting in the midst of it. It's maybe a little bigger than an old 50-cent piece, and about like 3 of them stacked thickness.
I'm assuming it's a sending stone or a fancy listing device.
You can have a look. Zambra, if you want to try and figure it out. You don't have to share what you've got with the others, but if you want, say, Rannis to maybe look at it and see if it is magical, you could do that, or yourself. So do you pass it to Rannis and show him? Alright, Rannis, do you want to try and arcana this thing? Try and figure out what it is. Wow's 24. Holy shit. Your bonus
I am a wizard of some renown.
Yeah. Your bonus is almost bigger than what Zambro can get on a nat 20.
Thanks for noticing.
Yep. It is a ascending stone. It is not a listening device unless it is pinched both sides of the gem that goes through it. So you hold a finger on each side and it'll transmit basically like what you would consider in the future to be a walkie-talkie, but doesn't exist right now.
Okay. I'll let him know that.
I got their number.
It is 1.
Is Zambro fully functional?
Wow.
Zambro's a girl.
Yeah, well.
Girls also function.
Is the Warforged, is it also a girl, you know? Is it a lady Warforged? I don't know.
I mean, nothing that taking a gas axe to myself won't fix, I guess.
Wow. Moving right along.
Then I've got an axe wound, right?
Oh, Jeff. Moving along.
I know how much Locke loves that too.
Jesus Christ. So, as you guys are coming out of Melissa's house, you see a group of people standing outside. I don't know if you know this person yet. I don't think you do.
Krusty Krab is unfair. Mr. Krabs is in there. Standing at the concession. Plotting our oppression.
I feel like maybe you did meet this person actually.
Who?
Rush Munchausen.
Was he a brother to Rough Ruckus?
No, okay, no, you didn't. You see a half elf standing in front of the house. He's flanked by a couple of people you recognize, or at least you recognize what they're wearing. They're wearing very similar clothes to the Obscurati mages and skulks that you've fought before, and they flank him on either side. And you see, out of the corner of your eyes, moving around the square, a couple more of them. Probably 8 in total around this area. And as you sort of stand on the staircases, this man in front of you says, "Perhaps we should talk inside, out of the bustle and hustle of the street." And this is the man.
Ah, Mr. Munchausen, I presume.
Yes.
I wonder something by proxy, Joe.
Yeah. I appreciate the joke you're trying to go for there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's Liar's proxy. Get it? I send Munchausen by proxy.
Yes, you got it.
Oh no.
You did what I couldn't do.
Yeah.
Howdy.
It was a team effort. Well done, team.
I don't. All right. Yep. Good job, guys.
So, yeah. He says, "Perhaps we should come inside."
Why is everyone trying to kidnap us today?
When she says come inside.
We're popular people. What can we say?
Bearing in mind he's telling you to go back into the building you've just come from, not to a new building.
I mean, that's good that he's not taking us to a secondary location. Don't want to do that, but still.
Might as well humor him, I guess. Like, we can probably. If it's just him and like about 8 mooks, I'm pretty sure we can.
Yeah, we can kill this
And
guy.
I think he probably realizes that. I get the feeling he's probably not going to want to fight us unless it's like a last resort.
But also, we're up to society, remember?
Do you guys go to move in as Rush commands? Yes, no, maybe?
Sure. Fuck it, whatever.
Alright, so as you start moving back, you hear from across the way one of those same Obscurati skulks that you've spotted already call to Rush. Rush! The Fuzz are coming! They're just down the road! And he gestures down the corridor, and you see Rush's face surprised and then concerned. He says, right, inside, go! And he starts to rush you all inside.
What's the rush?
And that's where we're going to end today. So
3 hours?
Right, we're not in a rush.
it is. It's been 2.5 hours, but we started late. That's all.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Just surprised. I was having a good time.
Sorry, buddy.